All right.
Okay, well, once again, wonderful people, thank you for tuning in to our series today. I'm going to go ahead and do the Pink Week spiel again because, as you can tell, we here at North Shore take breast cancer awareness very seriously. We have been having participation events all week long. We welcome and want you to participate with us. So, as you can tell, very prepared for Pink Week. Okay. I know that you're kind of winding down from the week, also from midterms. So that's actually what our topic is going to be about. Again, I like engagement for a lot of the seminars that I do. So there's going to be those opportunities for that. So I'll go ahead and get started with the presentation unless Miss Allie has some things that she wants to announce. Nope, she's good. Okay. See, she just wants to see my presentation. That's what it is. We're ready. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share a screen with you guys. Thank you again for bearing with us. Okay. All right. Again, I feel like I'm back to the technical difficulties. All right, so midterms are done. Congratulations, you made it through. Little to no ill effects on you. You did it. You did it. Now, what? What comes after midterms? Again, you're taking that breather from cramming for exams, for doing the very best you could on all of your projects. But how do we move forward? So for those of you who knew that you have midterm grades and that they are available, I'm sure you've had a look at them. For those who don't know how to view your midterm grades, you would log into your Lola, click on student, then academic profile, view grades, and your midterm grades are actually going to be in the 4th column. So if you haven't done that, go and do that. For those of you who have, would like to know what was your reaction to seeing your midterm grades. I'm going to ask you to use the chat box for this. What was your expectation? You put in all the work of studying, you knew what you were doing when you were going into it. What were your thoughts? Did you get the grade that you expected? Did you maybe not get the grade that you expected? Ms. Allie, if you do me a favor and let me know what people are rating, that would be fantastical because again, my computer doesn't want to cooperate with me today. Don't be shy, everybody. You had expectations.
I think everybody's nervous.
Oh,
oh, they said, I think I'll go with a 9. All right.
All right, way to go, first of all. Yes, gold star for you. You did put in the prep work and you right on task. Now, there are some of us that probably did not, meet what we wanted to. Okay, maybe you got a 3 or a 4, maybe a 5. Okay. What I would like for you to do is to think about, what does a midterm mean to you?
Before you go on, I'm sorry, but we had someone to say, I'd say a 6 or 7.
Clearly, we have the prepared group with us today. Very nice. That is awesome. Okay, 6 or 7 is great. Okay, well done. What I'd like for those who didn't answer especially to think about is, what do they think of when they think of the words midterm? Okay, so if we look at the definition, Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition, it's the middle of an examination term. It is an examination at midterm or the approximate middle of an term of office. But I want to suggest an alternative definition, NTC style. We're doing a Gator style today, y'all. So what I'm going to propose is that a midterm is an important tool used to measure directional bearings for academic improvement, or an instrument for assessing the distance between current standing and the next level of success. An academic compass, if you would. Okay, so thinking back to your response to your midterm grades, what direction do you think that your midterm is pointing you in? I don't really think that anybody's going to say it's sliding back down to the 1. Nobody wants 1 or a 2. I think everybody wants to reach a 10. So with that in mind, are you happy with your current location, or do you need to adjust your direction? The first step toward getting somewhere is to decide that you're not going to stay where you are. Okay? So for those who maybe didn't do as well as they wanted to, I need you to know that taking the L is not an option. Nope. No L's here. What you need to do is understand that now is a time for change. No L's allowed. Okay, so it's time for action. And by action, I mean adjusting study habits, contacting instructors, talk extra credit opportunities, invite others to a study group, outline your time spent, and never forget your goal. Okay, because taking a step toward change, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. So that's what this is about. Okay, so adjusting your study habits, you want to think about the skills that have worked for you and what hasn't worked for you. Make sure you're considering your learning style when you're creating these study habits. I'm going to put in the chat box a YouTube video for a young lady who has gone through several semesters of what works for her, so that you don't have to just take my word for it. You can get different informationals from all types of places. Then also, if you need other ideas on how to adjust your study skills, you can check out the Success Coach page, where we have a number of useful videos that talk about effective note-taking, that talks about test-taking skills, and how do you learn best, where it goes into your learning styles. Okay, so group discussion time. Yay. I want to know, what study habits have you used? Have they worked for you? And what do you think you might want to change? Everybody's so shy today. Okay, so I'll tell you something that I learned relatively early on in high school. I was always taught quiet space for reading and learning. Okay, so you go to the library, you have a quiet space. That's supposed to be what works for you. But that never worked for me. And I thought that I was doing it wrong all through high school. When I got to college, however, I learned that a little bit of white noise or a little background noise, however, that allowed me to not be distracted by noises that would pop up now and again. And it was very soothing to me, so I could concentrate on what I was reading and actually comprehend what I was reading. So I had to make that adjustment for college.
Well, Noelle said, I write all my notes down no matter what. It helps me more than reading printed notes.
There you go. A lot of kinesthetic learners. Not everything is going to come by reading it. Awesome. Thank you, Noelle.
I know me personally, I'm a multimodal. I have to hear it. I got to see it. I got to try it myself before it sticks.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Anybody else want to give their feedback?
Yes. So Jennifer said, if my online book has an audio option, I play the audio option along with reading the material, since I am an auditory learner. She already knows her learning style.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Then not only are you getting it multiple ways, you can focus on highlighting the areas that stand out to you. Absolutely. Good tool. Good tool. Anyone else? I feel like the Jeopardy music should be playing in the background right now. I should have thought of that. Do, 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 do. All right, we're not going to, did somebody else say something? I feel like
Yes.
Okay.
So Aria, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. I will also highlight key terms and look at the objectives for the readings.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. A lot of prepared planning before going into the reading session. Awesome. Let's see. Now we'll move on to contacting instructors, because let's face it, approaching teachers can be a little intimidating. But the important thing to remember is that your instructors have been right where you are. So they already know where you're coming from. Now, if you have an online or a hybrid class, of course, email correspondence is perfectly fine. Now, when you email, you'll want to do that through Canvas or your North Shore email address. If you use another email address, in all honesty, we don't know if that's a secure email address, so it may not get answered in the timely fashion that it needs to. But your North Shore Gator Mail, yes, please use that, or your Canvas. Or I want to say face-to-face, but maybe mask-to-mask conversation is a good way to engage with your instructors as well. Okay, so big question, what do I say when I'm having these conversations? Where do you start? The best place to start is developing questions for your instructor from the syllabus. Okay, you can come up with questions for your homework, from final exams, attendance, midterms, participation papers, projects, even their suggestions on what they're looking for the class. Don't be afraid to approach them. Again, they've been exactly where you are. Now, when we're talking extra credit, as you re-review the syllabus for each of your classes, look at the due dates and the timeline of assignments. Because first of all, even if you miss some assignments, there may be the possibility that you can go back for partial credit. In the information, note if there are any opportunities for extra credit. If you don't see any that are mentioned, again, make sure you have that conversation with your instructor, because it could be something that has been brought to their attention and they may feel like they want to give extra credit at that point. Invite others to a study group. So there are other students in your class that may have the same questions that you do, or they may want to increase their grade as well. So start by talking to some of your friends in the class, or start a discussion through Canvas. You can message the whole class. Also, make sure you're utilizing tutoring as much as possible. Now, when it comes to outlining how you spend your time, creating a block system of how you spend that time is an excellent way to stay organized and stress-free. The listing will allow you to make adjustments for which you can change each day to day, especially if you use color coding, because you can think, oh, I'll have time at 10 a.m. and then whoops, it got away from you. You realized you had an appointment you had to get to, but at 6 p.m., you might be able to fit in that study time that you need before the next day. So it really is a great tool to use. If you have never used it before, I'm going to strongly suggest it. One of these weekly planners, one of these weekly schedules can be found on any Google search, but your schedule is your game plan. So if you find that the plan doesn't work, you change the plan, but keep the goal. That should never change. Now, again, never forgetting that goal. So if your goal is short-term, achieving a higher score, deciding on a different major, making your schedule for the next semester, or whether it's long-term by making the dean's list, getting admitted to the university of your dreams, or earning that 3.5 GPA for graduation. Whether it's short-term, long-term, your goal is your goal. And we here are here to help you reach all of your goals. So just a quick recap, we're going to adjust study habits, contact instructors, talk extra credit opportunities, invite others to a study group, outline time spent, and never forget your goal. And please, please keep in mind that it is not about perfection. It's about the effort. And when you bring effort every single day, that's where transformation happens. That's how change occurs. We're striving for progress, not perfection. You have to get to know your style in order to make those changes for your success. Okay? One day or day one, you decide. But I think we can all agree that today should be that day. Okay? Now, my favorite part of this, questions, suggestions, feedback. I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen and yes, get back to our discussion. Everybody's so quiet today.
So we've got some notes in the chat.
Okay, awesome.
I was already unmuted and then I muted myself. Okay, so Aria said, I completely agree with the creating a schedule to manage time. It works wonders. Yes.
Okay. Time is something we can't get back. You got to strategically place it. And again, I want to stress to everybody to go in and make one of these schedules, because you'll be surprised where you spend all of your time and where you can start utilizing. But it's really important as well to do some color coding. We are multidimensional creatures that learn in different ways. Color really affects how we can place things. Anybody else have any suggestions or want to tell us what's been working for them or what hasn't worked?
Yeah, who got that? Aria, she got that. She's the one who said she got a 9 or 10. So she's definitely on track. So
most definitely. So we'll take all the advice from you. Come on now. You got a 10 out of your expectations on your midterms. I can almost guarantee 90% of the students, 90% of the faculty and staff as well don't get 90% of an expectation of just doing that well. Well, everybody's, I guess, just pleasantly surprised at exactly how well that they did concerning all the efforts that they put in. So I guess if no one has any other questions, any suggestions, I know we'll leave the chat box open so that you can feel free to jump in. But that concludes my part of the presentation. Ms. Allie, do you have any words of wisdom?
I mean, everything you said, I tell people all the time, nothing works unless you start using it. So all the tips that you gave today, I mean, you just have to start incorporating it. Like you said, today is the day. You know, if you didn't do well on your finals or you did, you know, just start from this day on. What can I do better? How can I improve? So great job and great tips. And Aria said time management and prioritizing the most important task of the day. Little things add up in the end. Even just spending a few minutes a day. Oh, it's moving so fast. Oh. Even spending a few minutes a day will add up at the end of the semester. It's a lot of trial and error and everyone is different. Whatever works best for the student. Yes, Aria, we need to get her to teach one of these classes.
I was going to suggest that. Thank you, Ms. Allie. Okay, we're going to get in contact with you, ma'am, because you might want to lead one of these. I'm getting excited for this now. I went ahead and did post the YouTube video that I talked about. It's about 6 minutes long, and it's how a young lady, really, she went on to law school and had to adjust her study skills. So it talks about some of the study skills that worked for her. But again, we have all kinds of resources here at North Shore Technical. We're happy to assist you in that. Also, please remember the student success page where we have multiple videos that talk about some of these things already, or when you're stressed out coming up to finals or coming up to midterm, we have things for that too, because we know where you are. We've all been there.
Samoa, I'd like to just add one point. As students are navigating their educational journey, be flexible with yourself. Because sometimes your learning style or the methods that you use have to change and adjust based on the subject matter or whatever your task at hand is. I know for myself personally, being in school for forever, the way that I studied and prepared for classes had to change based on the content and based on the needs of that course. And so being open to new tips is always good, a good practice. I know in graduate school, I walked into one of my classmates' apartment, and when I went into her restroom, I looked over in her bedroom and she had stuff all over the walls. And I was like, what is going on in here? And she was literally charting out a paper that she needed to write. She had documents all over the wall. This was pointing to this, and this connects to this. And that was the way that she had to view the content for it to make sense to her. Just reading it didn't work. Writing it down didn't work. She had to literally get posters and signage and all kinds of things to help her chart it out for it to make sense. And so by any means necessary is what you have to do. You find out what works for you, what method is best for you, and you adjust it as needed based on the subject matter to help you truly retain the information, to really get an understanding of the information. So I thought your presentation was really good. And the feedback and comments from the students on the tips that they use is really good. But just, just being flexible and don't get stuck on, well, I'm a visual learner or I'm an auditory learner. Be open to new tools, because sometimes you'll find that even though this is the area that works best for me, I can learn in other formats as well. So
yeah, it's a journey. It's a journey, and that's what you're here for, to become the next level of yourself. So yeah, exactly as Dr. Montgomery said, don't be hard on yourself as you're learning how to navigate all of these waters. So are there any questions, any suggestions? Again, I just want to make sure that everybody has a chance to give their input and their thoughts. Miss Allie, are you doing the music for Jeopardy again?
I didn't think I was, but I guess I did in my mind.
I feel that though. I feel like that should be going on right now. So we were in tune on that. Absolutely.
So far, we've got to thank you for your presentation. So thank you.
Y'all don't be strangers. You come and visit us in student services. We would be happy to chat with you. And again, if we can assist you in any way, just let us know.
Yes. Tell your friends about the Success Skills series. And like she said, go to our Success Coach website. Lots of resources there for you. So, thank you all so much for joining. So Noelle said, if we want to be social workers, can we take psychology classes?
You should absolutely take a psychology class. You should take a couple of psychology classes. If you're wanting to be a social worker, social work delves into class and sometimes outside factors, whereas psychology talks about the physiology and the makeup of people. So you're going to want that. You're going to want to know about abnormal psychology when there are things that are off in a person's, I would say, like, not chemical makeup, but my goodness, something along those lines. There are multiple classes that you'll want to take in psychology.
You definitely probably want to schedule an appointment with your advisor, because, I'm sure you're planning on going to a 4-year. And what that advisor will do is look at that 4-year social work program and let you know what classes you can take with us before you transfer, because we do not have a social work degree that is a 4-year school degree, but we can definitely help you with your general ed classes. So all of you all that are here, remember that advising starts next week. The 25th and the 26th are our military community. And then on the 27th, it's open to everybody. So don't forget to schedule an appointment with your advisor. We're doing in-person meetings as well as virtual, but you do have to schedule it 24 hours in advance. So if you go on today, you know you can't schedule it until 24 hours ahead of time. So, but remember, it starts on the 25th for our military family, and it goes through till the first week of class. But we want you guys to get registered early, get advised and registered before the holiday. So let me see. Last time I looked, my advisor was not on the meeting list. What do I do? You can go see a student services person or sign up for the advisor. That's just says student services. Like you're a new student, just go in like you're a new student and you'll get to meet with a student services person. They could either work with you and find your advisor, or they can advise you themselves. So let me see. Someone said, okay, thanks for your help. I do have an appointment scheduled. Very good.
At the very least, we could give you also the email address for your advisor. So really, when you have the questions, like Miss Allie said, come visit or give us a call, give us an email, whatever's more convenient for you. All right, I'm gonna stop talking.
All right, thanks everybody. We're gonna stop recording now. Have a good day.